Hello to all my good friends in San Antonio, Texas. I wish I could be there along with Rich and Doug to share in your time of fellowship and updates regarding Alliance Defending Freedom. But we'll look forward to doing that sometime in the future. Joan and I are doing well. We've, as we say, had a lot of water pass under our bridge since we've seen you last. Some health problems like we all deal with, but everything's going well, and we're energized and ready for whatever God has in store for us in the future. Just thinking about the bodies, of course, how can I forget the fantastic experience I had there at the hospital? So for those of you who don't know about it, and for those of you who've heard the story but not really the whole story because you need to hear it from me, let me tell you about the time that I was with the bodies having dinner down on the beautiful river. And during that time, I bit my tongue. Now, for those of you who spend time with Clark, you know that there are many times with Clark that you have to bite your tongue. But this was an accidental bite. And the problem was that I just had a stent put in my heart, so I was on blood thinner. So when I bit my tongue during dinner, my mouth starts bleeding. I mean, bad. And so I take a napkin and kind of stick it in my mouth and hold it there, try to get it stopped, but it wouldn't stop. And so I figured as soon as dinner was finished that Clark would graciously take me back to the house or directly to a hospital. But instead, he said he wanted to show me on a tour of the river. So we walked along the sidewalk there, the beautiful sidewalk, and went up and down those big steps, and he told us all about the history. And all during this, I'm bleeding. I mean, like I think I'm going to die. And here I've got this napkin in my mouth with blood pouring out of it. And I'll always remember there was this one little girl who was walking down the sidewalk, and she looks up at me and says, "Daddy, how come that man has a napkin in his mouth with blood all over it?" Of course, Clark just ignored it and went on with his tour of the river. Then we went back to the house, and so then Clark and Jane, along with Doug, they went down the kitchen, and I said, I think I'm going to go upstairs and lay down and see if I can get this thing to heal up a little bit. They said fine. So they went in, had pie and ice cream or something for about 4 hours, while I'm upstairs bleeding out. Finally, at about midnight, I came down the steps, and they're still sitting there partying, and I said, I think maybe I need to go to the hospital, unless it's too much trouble. And so at that point, Clark took me to the hospital. Of course, it's midnight, and the hospital's downtown. I mean, we walked in the door of the emergency room. There was like 1,400 people in there, and they were laying on the floor, and they were sitting in chairs, and I thought, oh my goodness, we're going to be here forever. Actually, they saw me very quickly and took care of the problem, got the bleeding stopped before I died. And then I think the reason they actually took such good care of me is that I know that Clark is on the board of the hospital, so I think that helped. Otherwise, I'd still be sitting in line there. But I'll tell you what, that story, I've told it so many times that it actually was worth all the pain of going through it just to have the story. But Clark and Jane, I love you both. He gave me a cute little video that I used at our 70th birthday, and everybody got a kick out of that, and that was about the story with my mom. We appreciate you, friends, and may God bless you, and may God bless your families, keep them all safe and healthy. Have a great evening.